Hi there, viewers and gamers alike out there, and welcome back for more of Arkham Twin Days of the Amazing Spider-Man movie and info and storyline and lore. You know what I mean. So, I kind of making this up as far as I go, okay? So, thank you very much. So, for anyways, as I'm going to continue more of the story in progress, or what have I know of so far. Okay. Alright. About the... Now, as I remember, yes. So, it was about the... Oh yeah, since he was in the community service because he knows it was like... Because he wanted payback for Flash Thompson, so he got his payback. So, happy day! He's satisfied. So, now that he finally got what he wanted, but because did he deserve it, even though it was wrong? Because he doesn't like being bullied so much, even though he wants to play against his foes or his enemies of some sort. So, yeah. So, anyway... How would in heaven's name is he going to find a way to, well, yeah. At least he got community service, yet somehow he's going to do something. Now that, oh boy. So now that, he kind of has a picture of Gwen because Peter's in love with Gwen Stacy so badly. But first, since he knows how to control his powers of his strength, agility, and speed, and his spider sense. What does he do? He skateboards like Tony Hawk style. And he's able to master these moves so quickly, self-taught, he is able to do it like in one day. He's able to do it in one day. Completely. And then he finally is able to do that. And then you can see, of course, he wanted to go and meet up with, how do I say? Meet up with Dr. Curtis Connors, of course. But simply, it will not be easy, so he has to reveal his real name because his real name is not Rodrigo Guevara, it's Peter Parker. So, now that he's given his full name to Dr. Curtis Connors, he is able to get inside. So, yeah, he's able to get inside in Dr. Connors' home and tells the ACADE algorithm. So he gave him an equation and is able to solve it completely, like in less than no time. So smart, he is that much of his father, Richard Parker, the scientist and government official working for Oscorp, and things are going to be looking definitely up. So Peter Parker gave him the equation, and Dr. Curtis Connors could not believe his eyes. He was absolutely astonished of this young man in high school, in his teenage years, that he's able to solve this equation like really fast. So he'll be working at Oscorp for an intern job, and finally be able to, hopefully he will be able to earn some grant money to go to college. Of course, that's what he, at least that things are going to be definitely A-OK. Will this get A-OK to the matter? I don't know. I am just not so 100% sure. Of course, Dr. Curtis Connors wants to try to test out like the lab rat, for example. So he So Peter Parker and Dr. Curtis Connors tried the ACADE algorithm that Peter Parker has solved it and giving him an equation to put into the subject of how to regrowth of an arm or a limb or a lost leg or a lost arm or the, a lost finger. So, like I lost my index or the pinky or my thumb. So we start off with Fred and Wilma, the lab rats. Yes, Fred and Wilma, which is a Meet the Flintstones reference. I don't know why they've got Fred and Wilma, but I'm guessing it's not the Flintstones, even though it's a Warner Brothers property that's into Sony. Of course, a Fred and Wilma doesn't hurt that long, so yay! And finally, they got the ACADE algorithm to work on the mice, and regeneration growth of a limb has been completed. Of course, Peter Parker did not want to answer the call to Ben Parker because he was kind of busy, of course. And then finally, he had to go home, and then all of a sudden, Ben Parker was kind of upset because he forgot to pick up May Parker, that May Parker had to walk to the park all the way home. So he had to apologize to be a man. So he had to apologize and be a man. Of course, he's wondering about, so there's kind of a bit of a heated conversation about where is my dad? Where is he? And he says, I know you're so much like your father, I know, but he's not here. But the question is, where is Richard Parker? He wants to know where he was. It wasn't his responsibility to be here. Of course, that this heated argument about where is my father, and he did not take this kind of situation poorly. So it was not a good way to end up from a heated conversation. Glitch! So yeah, that was not a good part for Ben Parker, even though Peter Parker kind of raised a good point about it. What he think that wasn't his responsibility to be here, because I'm not sure if Ben Parker kind of brought that up about the thing of how he would answer him in a question way that's not gonna end so well, which is not good on any of the parts of their mantle, even if it means something went wrong. Of course, you know what will happen to Ben Parker, but before that, Peter Parker wanted to buy chocolate milk in a store. He ran out of money, and then this store clerk guy, of course, there's a lot of different versions. I mean, this version kind of acted a little differently. So yeah, so buying chocolate milk, and this guy named David Carradine, who kind of, I don't know, does a little rustle bustle up with the cash as a distraction. So he kind of took the chocolate milk and gave it to Peter Parker for free, even though he was kind of ran 2 cents short. And then the store clerk says, "Hey kid, help me out!" And Peter Parker says, "Not my policy." Right back at you. Like you don't say, if I can't buy my chocolate milk, I'll just leave. What you do to me, I'll do to you. So you treat me the way I treat you. It's like the golden rule. So New Yorkers kind of do the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, yo. Even if I'm from Brooklyn or Manhattan, yo. You dig? Good. Because I kind of dig and I kind of don't. So, yeah, that's how it happened.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, kind of hear this gunshot that came out of nowhere by David or Dennis Carradine, and then it wasn't a very good sound. This gunshot was shot by a gunman. He did not even know it was the man who gave him the chocolate milk that he was trying to buy in the first place, because he was very upset, downtrodden, because he's going to lose his uncle forever. But there was nothing he can do. There was nothing he can do. The bullet absolutely pierced him, and it was enough for him to be killed off. Peter Parker lost his very dear uncle, even though from that heated argument, I know he kind of didn't mean it, but even though that things may never go wrong or things going south, it just goes to show you that sometimes bad things happen to good people. And Ben Parker, a loving husband to May Parker, is gone. And so for that, he was completely sad and downtrodden. Of course, the school knows about what happened to Peter Parker's uncle, including Flash Thompson, for he was kind of really shocked that Peter Parker absolutely looked up to Ben Parker, which is his uncle, and he was not in a mood to talk to Flash Thompson. Even though that Flash Thompson knew that his uncle died, then he gets it. He understands the pain and the torment he suffered. It's like, wow, this is a Flash Thompson I've never seen before. So, yeah, a Flash Thompson that you never seen before. It was something that no one can ever saw to it coming. Even though that Peter Parker doesn't want to know how he feels to tell him about it, Flash Thompson knows. So Peter Parker kind of got the sketch when it was, when May Parker wanted to know what happened to Ben, because he got shot by some some punk with a gun. So it's kind of like Bruce Wayne losing his parents because some punk with a gun. So yeah, DC and Marvel have something in common. And oh my. The one thing he's gonna have to do is that he has to find Ben Parker's killer quick and fast. So he wanted to bring him into justice of some sort. However, he wants to find the guy who has a tattoo with a star on the wrist. But it will not be easy for him to find him around New York City in Manhattan. So, how is he going to solve this problem? It will not be easy, of course. The one thing is certain, with great power comes great responsibility. Of course, Andrew Garfield doesn't say that in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I don't know why, because it has to be said during the comics. But in the games, like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, he does say it, just not in the movies. It's like, dude, Peter Parker's supposed to say with great power comes great responsibility. My uncle taught me that, but instead he didn't say that. Of course, he kind of burdens the responsibility, of course, but he didn't say with great power comes great responsibility. He says, oh, come on! Or the people are going to say, come on, man! So, yeah, that just happens. He didn't say it at all because I don't know. I'm guessing perhaps someone's saying it's too much, which I don't understand, which didn't make any sense at all. So, one thing. Wish the slogan was there, but no! They didn't put in the slogan by saying with great power comes great responsibility. Of course, Peter Parker had to take down some thugs and finding the guy who has a star tattoo on his left hand or the left wrist. Hopefully he'll be able to find him, because this is going to be like the murder mystery that is going to solve sooner or later, though. So, yeah. Hopefully, he's going to have to come up with a disguise. And he kind of fell into this wrestling ring, which is a luchador. I don't know why, but I'm guessing the luchador was a good idea to dress up as, because even though one of those guys who were trying to follow Peter Parker saying, "I see your face," so he has to come up with a disguise, a luchador mask. Of course, it was copied from the luchadors, which is not Bane. So a smart way to not get caught. I'm pretty sure that's going to work, I suppose. So, the luchador mask, of course. Hooray! The luchador man with a mask and with glasses. Since he's super smart, he's coming up with this kind of technology to hack into police radio and fighting to stop bad guys, since he has been given spider powers with superhuman strength, speed, and agility to that of Nightwing. Except the superhuman strength that Nightwing does not have. And now that he is able to go out to find the mystery thug of New York City, he's going to order something that's spandexy. Okay, I made it, spandexy. I made up that word because I put it in, you know, spandexy. You know, spandex. Oh, come on, you guys. Spandex. What part of the word spandex you do not understand? So, yeah. Now that he ordered the spandex, he kind of puts this Spider-Man symbol on this uniform. Of course, he doesn't have the name yet, and then you see this car thief who tries to hack this car with an automatic locking system. And yeah. So, and then all of a sudden you see Peter Parker dressing up as Spider-Man, and he says, "Hey, dude, if you're trying to dress like a car thief, if you're trying to seriously rob cars, don't dress like a car thief, man." He says, "Who are you? Are you a cop?" And then he's Peter Parker, not giving his name. He says, "Seriously, do I look like a cop to you?" It says, "Should have kind of do the luge." And then, you know, he finally got this web shooter where he ordered off from Oscorp, which is a kind of a funny way that he tries to make these web shooting work, and then he finally gets it to work, how to web shoot. So he finally got it. He's able to web shoot, and then he's web shooting this car thief. Then he finally escapes out of the car. The car thief wants to know where did he go. And then finally, Peter Parker doesn't have the name yet, and of course he doesn't want to give away his real name, stopping the car with a swinging action move, which is a funny way he did from the movie. And so then he talk about that my weakness is small knives joke, and then he web shoots the car thief, and then web shoots all any places if he could stop him, and then this car thief yells for help, and then webs up his mouth with web shots, and then Peter Parker wants to know if he is the guy he's looking for, but he is not the guy he's looking for. This could have gone a lot worse. So yeah, now, and then you hear the police sirens, and the cops are here. One of the cops are here, and he says, "Yo, boys in blue are here." And one of the officers says, "Who are you?" And yeah, the officer is riding a police motorcycle. Says, "Who are you?" Like, no one seems to grasp the costume of the mask. He says, "Halt!" And then he fires several shots, and then Spider-Man dodges, and he says, "I just did 80% of your job, and that's how you repay me?" Because he doesn't like being shot upon. Of course, now that Spider-Man got the job done, of course, now that the police are going after him, not to mention Captain Stacy wanted to stop a masked vigilante, even though he is a vigilante, but doing some heroically good because Spider-Man is the Marvel's Batman and Robin. Of course he is. He is Batman, Robin, and Nightwing in one. Of course, he's more chatty and not brooding. He's not the brutal Batman, of course. Of course, Spider-Man is not the world's greatest detective, but he does like to solve puzzles and clues, however, including investigations. And then Spider-Man was able to escape the NYPD apartment's grasp, even though Captain Stacy kind of gave a funny comment sentence to his officers saying, "We're trying to catch one guy versus we're trying to catch one guy dressing in a unitard. Am I correct?" He said, well, none of the officers wanted to answer, but they knew it was kind of awkward, but yeah. They kind of didn't find it funny, but it was a serious, funny matter, even though a police officer with almost no sense of humor, even with a sense of humor, can be funny at times. And I do believe we are going to stop here for the time being, and don't worry, we are going to continue to pick up from where we left off, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and tell me, what do you guys think of the Amazing Spider-Man movie? Or the movie license game itself? Do you like it or hate it? And mash that like button or share this video if you guys still love Arkham Twin Days such as myself. So, this is Leo Wolverine saying and speaking as always as your sensational special being and celebrating Autism Awareness Month for the entire month of April, wearing the colors red, yellow, and mostly blue, and taking chances, making mistakes, and getting messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember, always fight with honor, love, truth, and justice. And see you guys next time for more of Arkham Twin Days.